What's up, party people? It is Steve Maeda with today's Daily Awesome. It is March 16th, 2017, and this is a video that was recorded March 12th, and I'm putting this out there as the Daily Awesome mainly because for the last 2 weeks, I've just been blitzed out on doing website stuff, really good, really awesome website stuff happening with Austin Men's Development and the Sexual Life. We're stepping it up. So some of you guys know about it, but if you want to see some of it, go to thesexuallife.com/members where you can find out more about how we can interact with this. And this is where this call comes from. This is from a call, our Sunday call, which we usually don't record on, but I had to just because, some of the members, Steve and Gary, were saying such awesome stuff about what happens as a divorced man. What happens when we realize Santa Claus isn't real, when we get the carpet pulled out from under us, when we've invested a huge chunk of our life, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it doesn't work out. How do we evolve to become the best man? How do we hold each other accountable to being our best self? Because that's really what it's about, and not getting down that rabbit hole of being angry and pissed off. And we talk a lot about that because all of us have been there. So if you're interested in this, I think it's important for men to hear. Man, give it a listen. If you're listening on iTunes, you can watch it on YouTube and like it wherever you see it or write reviews and all that sort of stuff. And also, if you want to see the liner notes of this, you can either go to thesexuallife.com/awesome7 or you can go to austinmensdevelopment.com/awesome7 and you'll get everything. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Join the Austin Men's Development free Facebook group if you want to get more involved, and let's listen to this podcast. We are live on our Sunday call, our members call, which we almost never record on, but this one I'm so moved to record on because we had some great input. Man, amazing stuff that we were talking about. And it came up because on our MD Excellence board, not on the Austin Men's Development board, but our paid board for the members. If you're interested in that, you can follow the links down below and so on. Our membership is awesome. I'm so proud of it. And I'm so proud of it because of stuff like this. But I had posted something on there maybe 2 days ago about a true crime documentary that I saw about a guy who had the perfect marriage, and you probably read about it because it's high profile, but this is my first time hearing about it. He had the perfect marriage, all this sort of stuff. And 10 years later, they get divorced for whatever reasons. And, they're going through their divorce and he gets screwed in the courts. The guy's a wealthy man. He has to pay alimony he doesn't think he deserves. The judge chooses unfairly. The girl says, she's been taken advantage of. He's been violent. And, turns out there was stuff with that. And he has to pay all this money that he doesn't feel that he can pay, that he's losing all of his stuff. He can't see his kids as much, and all this shit that we end up in, right? We all end up in, if we're men and we get married and we have kids and something goes south, we know this feeling. And the sad thing is this motherfucker goes out and he does what all these men who've been through this have thought of. I'm definitely not saying this is right. He screwed up, man. Like, he totally messed up. But he snipered the judge, and then he killed his wife. And see, the thing is this guy was a millionaire. And at the time, maybe, he wasn't doing well financially. But man, it's 10 years later, and that dude's in prison. And his life is taken away, and he doesn't see his kids. His kids grow up without a mom, a dad, and all this stuff that we logically think about. But man, if you are put in that position as a man, that is exactly what you feel like. And the fact of the matter is, and I don't want to get political here, I want to talk about reality. I want to talk about your choices as a man and what you're going to do with them and how we need to talk about this and not get into this us versus them blame game. But the court systems are not favorable towards men. Now, there's plenty of problems that women have. There's plenty of problems that men have, especially when it comes to custody and divorce. And it gets so black and white, and this guy got pigeonholed. He got fucked, man. He got screwed. And a lot of times, like we were just talking about on the call, is when you're a guy and you're going through this and you're not a millionaire like this guy, you can't hire a lawyer, or you have to downgrade to it. You hire a lawyer and then you can't afford him anymore, and you get the cheaper one, and they're 10 times worse because that's how it works. And she's got these pro bono lawyers, or she's got more money or more people supporting her or whatever. And the court systems lean that way anyway. And everybody says it's for the family, and all of a sudden you can't see your kids. You have to owe massive amounts of alimony, child support. You're getting shit on by people. You're being judged. It turns into this rat's nest of everything. And the thing is, and this is what they said, this is what pisses me off the most at the end of this whole documentary, is all the people said, man, and it was just about the money. It's not just about the money. It's about feeling disempowered. It's about feeling powerless. It's about everything being taken away from you. And the things that you are supposed to care about most, your family, your pride, your kids, how you put things together, your image in society, all these things being taken away from you and nothing you can do about it. And see, the problem is, and we were talking about this on the call, when I was 28, 29, 30, and I was going through this stuff, man, it wasn't that bad. I didn't have that many consequences. I didn't have that many financial consequences, didn't have, big consequences with custody, but I was wronged by the courts, or I felt so, right? I felt so. And I was pissed, man. I was angry. And that was the point where I was the most angry. And I didn't know what to do. See, that's the thing, is we don't have an outlet of guys telling you what to do. We have a bunch of people saying, oh, take the high road or be angry. But we don't have people saying like, hey, man, you're pissed off. I was there, man. I got fucked. I know what it's like to feel like nothing's working, nothing's in your favor. But hey, man, just come over here and let's talk about it. Let's chill out. Man, let's get through this. And that doesn't solve the problem. That doesn't get your kids back. It doesn't get you your money. That doesn't, get you all this power or whatever. It doesn't take back the things that are said about you or your friends leaving or splitting sides. But what that does is that cuts the edge. And also what it does is it gives you faith in the fucking process, man. Man, that is fucking huge. Because I'll tell you something, when I'm in pain, I don't have faith that that pain's going to get better. I have faith that I'm going to get up and run and do something and change and immediately react and do something towards it and fuck something up or get equalization or get retribution. That's what pain tells me to do. But when I see people who've had that experience and come out as sane people, come out as happy people, come out as functioning people, come out as people in relationships, come out as people who rebuild their families, come out as people who are told that they're the worst dad or they're a horrible husband or a horrible man, go on to do that, that gives me some faith in the process. And so what I want to tell guys, when you're going through your shit, you don't need to react. We all feel like that guy. I felt like that guy. Man, and I got screwed worse. So later on, when I'm 34, 35, I forget exactly what, 34, man, stuff got really, really bad for me. Really, really bad. And I'll own up to it, man. There's a huge my part in that. But there's a huge part where you could say shit wasn't fair. So what? And I'm not telling you so what because you need to be a man and man up. I'm telling you so what because you got to take responsibility for your life and own your problems. And if something happens to you, sitting around and ruminating and complaining and obsessing on why that is wrong and what you're going to do to equalize it just makes it worse. The worst thing you can do with a big deal is keep treating it like a big deal. A divorce, a loss of your kids, a death, a huge breakup. These are big deals. But they're normal things they're things that can be normalized. They can be normalized in your life. And if you have faith in the process about that road to being a good man, to getting those things back or whatever it is you want or whatever direction that you want to go, man, that's a very real thing. And very fortunately, when I went through that shit, I had already built up my communities. That was 2012. I built up my communities quite a bit. I had a huge support system of guys that I had helped out. And we all helped each other out. I may have started the groups just like this group and this call. But man, that's what I turned to. That's exactly what I turned to. And when I turned to that group, they all told me, oh man, you're angry. Oh, fuck yeah, man. That sounds horrible. That sounds like a miscarriage of justice. Man, I feel bad for you, Steve. But what are we going to do? Yeah, what's going to happen? How are we going to deal with this? What's going on? If you feel you can't stand, all right, cool. If you feel you want to react, all right, cool. Let's do it in this group. And see, that's the thing, man. At every single point in our life, and this was said, I mean, man, I wish you guys could have been on the call because there was so much that was said, but it was like this guy was talking about, how he's married and now he's divorced and it was a great marriage and there were so many benefits to it. He got screwed in that divorce, but so what? And yada, yada, yada. And he's like, man, everybody's saying, I'm paraphrasing here. I'm misquoting him probably, but it's like everybody's saying fuck it way too fast. Day 2 in that marriage, I could have said fuck it. Day 2 in that divorce, I could have said fuck it. When somebody stepped on my toes, I could have said fuck it. But what do you get from that? What do you get from that? And it's okay, man. It's okay to say fuck it every once in a while. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to fuck up. But we need to look at the real picture here. How are we as men, how are we as men holding each other accountable to being the best versions of ourselves? Whereas instead, we're looking for a buddy, a yes man, somebody to pat ourselves on the back because we can't hold on to our emotions when we're in pain. We can't hold into our pursuit for justice or the truth or reality or whatever the fuck it is, but really you're in pain. See, the real road to fucking walk, man, is the one that you walk that has your vision, your path, and who you are when it gets turned all around and all upside down and you're in pain and you don't need a reaction. You don't need anger. You don't need sadness. You don't even need happiness and joy to be you. But you have the wisdom. You have the sacrifice. You have the fortitude in your life and the experience to be able to carry yourself, man, when you can't see what's in front of you, when you're weak. And here's the thing, is man, I can't always do that. So that's why I have this. And that's the most beautiful thing in the world. Anyway, we got to get back to our Sunday call. That was a long enough thing of my rant. I wish you guys could have been there because there's nothing like a group of men that can talk about all this. Whatever it is, going through a divorce, sex, impotency, or what happens when you do have like an amazing sexual experience or you do get a new job and what you can be, because holding yourself accountable and having a group hold you accountable to be the best version of yourself is a pretty amazing thing. When we stop kidding around, stop trying to pat each other on our backs for fucking, to look good for a day. No, man, we are looking good for life. All right, thank you guys so much for listening. Super important that we're interacting on this. And we started the Austin Men's Development Board over a year ago so that we could have this overall interaction, so that we as men could come together and, live our best selves in a community, talk about it, dialogue about it, and really work on those things together. Now, Austin Men's Development is a free board. There's also our paid groups, and those, it really, man, there's a big difference in them. Now, AMD is a great Facebook group. It's awesome. But with a free board, you get all sorts of, you get a lot of people and they're not interacting and some trolling and stuff like that. On our paid boards, it's definitely a big step up. If you're interested in that, go to thesexuallife.com/members and you can see our different offerings. We have a way to get started with us for $5, which is really, really cool. And I'd encourage you to do it. And we also have the excellence package, which you get a lot. And then moving on up from there, there's just more and more and more where we go. So definitely, if you want to get involved with people that are really working to better their lives and you like our vibe and like what we're doing, check it out, thesexuallife.com/members, and you'll find it all out there. All right, later.